Welcome to another episode of This Woman Works. I am your host, Mike Patton, and on this episode, we will be talking to someone that's definitely making a difference with every word that she writes and every grant that she does. Can you introduce yourselves, yourself, to
Yes.
my audience?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I am Karnitia Holmes. I am known as the grant writer on Instagram. I am the owner of Holmes Grant Funding, which is a boutique firm that basically assists small businesses and nonprofit organizations with locating and securing grant funding.
All right, all right. I hope you got all that. But of course, we're going to get a little bit deeper into her journey, into how this grant writing phenomenon started for her. Of course, we're going to get into that a little bit later in the show. But of course, we start off every show with the Black Girl Magic Moment. And in this episode, we are talking about Toni Morrison. Yes, Toni Morrison was someone that is definitely beloved by a lot of people that look like me and you. And of course, she definitely blessed us with some great words. But I just want to kind of give everyone a little bit of a history of Toni Morrison. Now, she was born Chloe Ardelia Walford. Yes, there is no Anthony or Tony or Antonia in
Wow.
that name. Yes, which a lot of people don't know that one. She was born February 18th, 1931. Born in Ohio, actually. Of course, her parents instilled her with a sense of heritage and language through telling traditional African American folk tales, ghost stories, and singing songs. She actually became Catholic at the age of 12 and took the baptismal name Anthony, which Chloe Anthony Walford, hence the nickname Toni. So that's where Toni came
Mhm.
from. It wasn't even
Okay.
originally her name.
Wow.
1949, she actually went to Howard in Washington, D.C., graduated in 1953 from Howard, did some teaching, went back to Howard, and actually
Mhm.
met Harold Morrison, married in 1958. And of course, they had two sons and were divorced by 1964. Um, Hence, that's where Morrison came from. So you see, you piecing it together, Toni and Morrison right there. Um,
Gotcha.
she was an editor for LW Surge, I believe was the name, Random House textbook division in 1965, and 2 years later she transferred actually to Random House directly, becoming the first Black woman senior editor. So yeah, she definitely broke some barriers as well. And of course, she wrote a lot of different things, but of course, she played a vital role in bringing Black literature to the mainstream, and she fostered a generation of African American writers, including some names that you might know, like activist Angela Davis, Black Panther Huey P. Newton. A couple of those names I bet people did not know were actually writers that she actually helped become who they were. You also had, of course, she brought to the publication. Um, she also brought the 1975 autobiography of the outspoken champion Muhammad Ali. She also, of course, wrote books like Sula in 1973, which was about a friendship between two Black women, and it got a nominee for the National Book Award. She wrote Song of Solomon, which won a National Book Critics Circle Award. In 1977, she had also did a Beloved trilogy. Now, I will tell you, before she got to the Beloved trilogy, she wrote two of those books, and then before the third one even dropped, she won the Nobel Peace Prize in Literature in 1993, um, becoming the first Black woman to win the award, the Nobel Peace Prize, in 1993. Of course,
Mhm.
1998, Beloved was adapted into a movie by Oprah Winfrey.
Mhm.
Of course, she passed in 2019, complications of pneumonia at 88 years old. One thing I will always remember about Toni Morrison, She wrote stories about us, for us, and she was unapologetically Black. And I love her for that. Now, for those that didn't catch that again, I will repeat this. She actually fostered a new generation of African American writers, including people like activist Angela Davis and Black Panther Huey P. Newton, which I bet a bunch of people did not know they wrote. Yes, they did. So,
So,
so yes, Miss Toni Morrison, we are still applauding your work, even though you are not here. We love you, and I wanted to give you your flowers today on the Black Girl
yeah,
Magic.
I love
Now,
that.
would you like to say anything about Toni Morrison?
Just that she was and is an inspiration to us all. My grandmother loved her, so I definitely grew up knowing who she was. So, I mean, like you said, her legacy definitely lives on.
Definitely. And one thing that also happened that kind of helped with her legacy, it's helped with who she is and who she became and being unapologetically Black.
Hmm.
One time they were late on rent. Her and her parents were late on rent, and the landlord tried to burn the house down with them in it. With them in
What?
it. Yes.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
horrible.
Yes. Craziness. Craziness indeed. But she survived it and she moved on and she continued to, she grew up to create some great things. Miss
Yes,
Toni Morrison.
definitely. Yes, definitely.
All right. Well, someone that has created some great things that is on actually on this show is you, Karnitia. We want to talk about you. So
Awesome.
we do have to talk about you from, of course, the beginning stages, though. So we got to get into young Karnisha. Okay, are you
Okay,
ready?
I'm ready.
Now, where did you grow up?
So I am originally from Chicago. My mom,
Chi-town.
yes, definitely. My mom joined the Air Force right after high school. So I was actually born in Fairfield, California on an Air Force base. And
Mhm.
then we left there when I was 2. And we have been in Chicago pretty much ever since.
Okay, okay, Chicago. What side of
Yep.
Chicago you grew up in?
South Side, of course.
Ah, out there by the White Sox. Okay,
Yes, yes,
okay.
definitely.
You don't hold it against me. I'm a Cubs fan. Don't hold it against me.
I mean,
But
that's fine. I don't discriminate. We're all part of the same city. So, that's fine.
Mhm. All right. So, what was it like growing up on the South Side of Chicago? Because I know, if I'm not mistaken, Barack Obama grew up on the South Side of Chicago too. Am I right?
Yes, yes, that is
Okay.
correct. I love
Mhm.
Chicago. It is beautiful. I mean, to me, it is one of the most beautiful cities in the United States. But I mean, I'm biased, of course. But growing up, I mean, it was great. I had kind of the best of both worlds. I grew up in both the suburbs and the city, as we call it. So I could go from the south suburbs, and then I would be on like Lakeshore Drive, and then we would just be all around the city. So I think I had a very unique upbringing, and I think that's just what makes me such a well-rounded person today.
Okay. All right. And as far as what's the biggest thing that you kind of remember growing up in Chicago that just in general? Because I mean, I think about Chicago and I think about the wind because I went there one time and the wind pretty much whipped through the buildings and I was like, Lord have mercy, get me out of
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah. It is not called the Windy City for no reason. The wind is definitely crazy, um, but I mean, I just have really great memories of like being on the lakefront, um, going to like my first concerts, like big jam concerts growing up.
Hmm.
Um, I just have a lot of great memories. Like we we did everything literally. Like I had like the best childhood ever. Like literally, I have like no regrets. I feel like I was able to do everything I wanted to. I was able to be in the same spaces as regular people, celebrities, everything. So I just loved it.
Okay. All right. And another thing I would mention as well is that Chicago, definitely a lot of dreams have happened in Chicago. A lot of rappers, a lot of artists, a lot of actors have come out of Chicago. But this is specific for you. What is one thing, being in the midst of all that, what is one thing as a kid that you wanted to be?
Oh, that's easy. Growing up, I always wanted to be a model, actually.
Okay. All
Yeah, I
right.
definitely was the one, and I was like, when I get older, I'm gonna move to New York, or go back to Cali, and model. But my mom was like, "No, like you are not going down that road." Because I mean, she just had such a bad taste in her mouth, just from seeing how other young black models, were just put out there in the business, and different things that happen. So she was just not for it at all. So yeah, she just crushed my little modeling dreams, but that's okay.
Oh my goodness. Hey, sometimes our dreams can be crushed when we are kids, but
Yeah.
in that, a new dream can arise. Now, with you, a new dream arose with, of course, being the grant writer.
Hmm.
But we're going to get into kind of that journey into becoming the grant writer. I keep saying the, I got to say it like that. But we're going to get into your journey of being the grant writer a little bit more after this commercial break on This Woman Works with your host, Mike Patton.
EBO Beard Butter and EBO Beard Wash are two of the best beard grooming products for men worldwide. They help promote growth, keep your beard moisturized and soft, and enhance your overall upkeep of your facial hair. And with the new promo code MPAFC10, you can get 10% off on these products. Just go to www.etsy.com/shop/EBO Beard Butter. Again, that's www.etsy.com/shop/EBO Beard Butter. And again, the promo code MPAFC10. Again, MPAFC10, where you can get 10% off any products except for beard boxes. So treat your beard better today by going to get the EBO Beard Butter and EBO Beard Wash.
All right, we are back on This Woman Works. Now, of course, I know you may have a question. Karnitia, I think
Yes.
you have a question, right?
Well,
You probably have a question as to why a beard butter commercial is on a show talking about black women. I'm gonna break it down real quick.
hmm
Well, in regards to everything, you know, we as black men don't necessarily take care of ourselves the greatest. We don't. That's a proven fact. Just men in
hmm
general don't take care of themselves well, but we sticking to black men on this one. So in regards to that, I figured put this commercial on here.
hmm
You know, we do have majority black women that watch this show and listen to this show. So I'm like, hey, maybe they can suggest it to their significant other, their brother, their cousin, their daddy, their uncle,
That
somebody.
is true.
So,
Yes.
kind of trying to move that in there, trying to use my marketing
Smart.
mind just a little bit, just a little
Smart
bit.
advertising. Yes.
I tried just a little bit. But getting back to the show, of course, like I mentioned before the break, you are the grant writer. And now
Yes.
I know that did not just happen overnight. So we have to ask, of course, you did tell everyone about your business to start the show. But when did your interest in grant writing start or begin?
It actually began in grad school. I went to Hampton first. I
Hmm.
finished my first year at Hampton University, and then I transferred to Tennessee State University, graduated, and then I went to grad school. While in grad school, I decided to major in public administration and have a concentration in nonprofit management. So while I was taking the courses for that discipline, a woman came into one of my classes to speak to the class, and she was telling us how she was a grant writer, and I was like, "That's interesting. Like, I've never heard of a grant writer. Like, what exactly, do you do? Where do you work? How'd you get into it?" So, after class, I ended up, staying and speaking to her. She gave me her card and everything. We kept in touch, and it just sparked something in me to where I just started wondering, like, well, if she's doing this, are there other, female grant writers? Are there other Black female grant writers? And I didn't really find any. So I started like talking to my friends about it, and at this point, people are, they're starting to get, start to get little business ideas and things of that sort, and they would, always come to me with like their questions and things. Just asking, like, do I know where they could find funding, or, is their business idea a good one? Is their nonprofit idea a good one? Things of that sort. So then I kind of slowly became like the go-to person in my circle for everything. And then that just kind of evolved. And I was like, I like doing this. I really like connecting people with their vision and funding so they don't have to, keep using their own money, uh, to get their business or nonprofit out there. So that's really how it emerged.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so going to grad school and they give you another career. Said, hey, why spend this money? Let's go do these grants.
I
So
know, right?
right, right. So um what was it like when you fully kind of you first started doing it and you're like, okay, cool, this is could be a career for me. What was that feeling like, kind of stepping out there, doing something that you had, I guess, kind of envisioned, had questions
Mhm.
about, and started kind of practicing doing?
It was great, eye-opening, just everything because, like I said, I started being that go-to person for people, and
Hmm.
that really felt good to, be the person that is, helping people that look like me. Even though, I pretty much, help anyone that has, a business or a nonprofit, but to really help, the minority community, really, get their business out there because they're the most underfunded. So that just really felt great to be able to say I was the one that helped people, kickstart their business or kickstart their nonprofit, and just kind of show them what it could be and just connect the dots for people.
Okay, all right. So, what was or when was the first of I'm where I'm supposed to be moment for you?
I would say it started. I would say it started in Southern Illinois. When a small nonprofit reached out to have me help with their after school program. And then they started asking me to teach other people how to research and write the grants. So then it just kind of got in my head like, okay, people really value, my input. And then from there, I just started growing my brand. And then I started having like different celebrities reach out to me and like different celebrities' moms reaching out to me to like start nonprofits and things of that sort. So then I'm like, okay, like I'm definitely getting there. Like my name is getting there because I would always ask people, how did you, run across my, social media? And I mean, that the first thing they would always say is, Instagram. So like I would definitely say, Instagram is a really good, place to advertise your business and just stay consistent with it because you never know, who's going to see your page and reach out to you to do business with you.
Hmm. You're right. You're right. I've definitely witnessed that today when it comes to the stuff I do. So,
Mhm.
but what I would say, what where can people find you if they need a grant or if they need your expertise and maybe help there, maybe kind of tutoring as well. I don't know necessarily if you tutor anyone or any of that nature, but I definitely know you write grants. But where can
Yeah.
people find you? Do you have like a website or anything like
I
that where people can
do.
find you
I
on?
have everything. I have websites, social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I have a Facebook group. So to start, my website is www.homesgrantfunding.com. That's where I would say start first. That's my actual website. When you go to the website, at the bottom, it has all of my social media links. My name on Instagram is The Grant Writer, THEE Grant Writer. On Facebook, I have the Homes Grant Funding page. I have a Facebook group that you can join where I post different grants, different tips, last minute things that you can do to further your funding and visibility. My Facebook group is called Rich Off Grants. So definitely join that. And I'm on TikTok as The Grant Writer. I'm on X, formerly Twitter, as The Grant Writer. So I am literally everywhere. I try to be everywhere and accessible.
Well, I will say this, as I do see at the bottom of the page, I did put up there. You need a grant? Go check out Karnitia
Yes.
Holmes
Thank
at
you.
www.homesgrantfunding.com. Now, I will say this, and I know you don't know me enough to know this, but I don't think I'll ever call it X.
I
I will
know
say
it feels weird. It feels
that
weird.
this
I
is the
thought it was
thing
just
about
me.
me. No, it's not just you, but I've said this saying, and I probably was going to say it at the end of the show, but I'll say it now. The only X I'm going to recognize is DMX and Malcolm X.
And Malcolm X,
That
exactly.
I'm not calling that site X. No,
I
no, no,
agree. It's just
no.
odd. It's just odd. We grew up calling it Twitter. It's
Mhm.
that's just what it is.
Yeah, the funniest thing is, I'm thinking about a movie. He said, "Mama call me Twitter. I'm gonna call you Twitter." Something like that. Stuff like that.
Exactly.
But anyway, but yeah, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I know that all the success with business, but there's always got to be some hurdles that happen when it comes to business and business dealings and things like that.
Mhm.
We're gonna get into those right after this commercial break on This Woman Works.
Okay.
A shift. A shift is something that happens and changes the dynamics. And that's what happened when Garrett Logistics was born. After 10 years as a sales pro in the logistics world of sporting goods, John Garrett decided to pivot to the world of freight and start a brokerage. So you're saying to yourself, why trust Garrett Logistics? Well, Garrett Logistics helps shippers improve overall workflow, along with increased on-time pickup and delivery percentages. Last minute loads, multi-drop pickups, and more are part of the services with Garrett Logistics. They're available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. all times Central Standard Time. So give them a ring at 615-400-8484. That's 615-400-8484, or you can email them at john@garrettlogistics.co or visit their website at garrettlogistics.co. Garrett Logistics, where the motto is, it's not just freight to us, it's your business.
All right, and we are back on This Woman Works. And like I mentioned before the commercial break, we're going to talk about some hurdles and advice in the business world. Now, like I mentioned, everything isn't always sunshine and rainbows. There's going to be some clouds that happen.
Yes.
And I want to ask, what was one of the biggest hurdles that you have encountered in running your business?
I've encountered a few over the years. I would say one would be boundaries, setting like those professional boundaries. Um, with grants, I think a lot of people are under the misconception that grants are like a quick, like funding, quick funding thing that they can just hurry up and apply for. You get the money and it's just like boom, boom, boom. When in reality, that is not the case at all. Grants should never be like the full basis of like your financial structure of your business or nonprofit. More so just because it's time consuming. So when someone reaches out to me and they tell me they have a business or a nonprofit that they like to fund, I have to first even make sure that like you're grant ready. Make sure you have your business set up how it's supposed to be set up, or your nonprofit set up how it's supposed to be set up. And then I have to do the research to even match you to those grants that I think you have the best possible chance of winning. And then after that, once we start submitting your applications, it takes funders a while to even go through the applications, choose a winner, and then disperse those funds. And a lot of times, they have so many applications, they can't, reach back out to everyone. So of course, you're not going to win, all the grants that you submit, and you're not going to hear back from all the funders that you submit those applications to. So, just setting those boundaries, because, you'll have some of those clients that are like, calling you around the clock,
Oh,
just
wow.
not adhering, not adhering to like, office hours. So just things like that. So that's definitely something I've learned over the years, to definitely set those professional boundaries, just for my own, peace of mind. Um, but I would say that that is the one thing I think all business owners should definitely do, is definitely set those professional boundaries, because that's always going to be a really big hurdle when people, want access to you 24/7, or they always have a million questions for you. Just kind of make sure that you're giving them more, just delivering more, so that they have less
Mhm.
questions.
Okay. All right. So, if you want to kind of put them in check, you can tell them by like Big Red. Office hours are between. No, I'm
Right.
not even gonna do that.
Exactly. Look, I'll definitely have the office hours posted. I definitely tell them, I'll give you updates, but maybe every 30 to 60 days, once we're putting in those applications, I might see a grant opportunity that opens in January, but it might not close until like the end of March. So, you may not hear anything until like the end of April or so, it's definitely time consuming, definitely not quick. So that's just something I think a lot of people just definitely need to remember with grants. So definitely add it to your fundraising strategy, but just don't let it be the main thing that you're using to fund everything. There's definitely business loans. There's definitely investors, micro lenders, CDFIs that they'll give money to those that don't have like the perfect credit score and things of that sort. So there's definitely a lot of other options than just grants.
Definitely, definitely. I hope you're taking notes if you're listening. Of course, you definitely set those boundaries. That's how you overcome the time constraints, or the time
Yes.
constraints people want to put on you.
Mhm.
Um, what would you say is the best advice for that you've received, generally, just being in business and doing what you do over the years?
I would say the best advice um, is just protect your peace. Um, don't try to wear all the hats. I think as a business owner, you want to be the social media creator. You want to be your own administrative assistant. You want to be your own marketing, executive. You want you want to do everything, because you feel like you're the only one that can do everything correctly. And I think that definitely will lead to burnout. So I think delegate. Put together some type of document to where you can have interns, or have those assistants or anything of that. So, come on and help you, so that you're not doing everything on your own.
Okay. All right. All right. And what is the big what's a what am I gonna say? Okay, you gave good advice earlier, or talking about different things, and kind of office hours, as they say.
Mhm.
But what's the best bit of advice you can give someone that may want to get into, or follow your footsteps?
I would definitely say, just jump in. Don't try to perfect everything. Don't wait until you have like the perfect website, or, just don't wait. Just, watch the YouTube videos, follow, people like me, and, other grant writers, or other grant writing businesses. Um, like I said, jump on YouTube, do everything that you can, that's available to you free, and just reach out to people, try to get a mentor, um, try to have people, just kind of show you, where they went wrong in their business, so that you can learn from their mistakes, and hopefully it won't be as hard for you to, get your foot in the door. But because I mean, people can only tell you no. So if you don't
Mhm.
ask, you won't get an answer. So I just say, just do it. Just jump head first in.
There you have it. There you have it. Now, of course, we have had a fun time understanding where you grew up,
Mhm.
Chi-Town, of course.
Yes.
Then your career and your journey and how you ended up in your career that you currently are doing, grant writing. And we went over the hurdles and advice. But this wouldn't be a This Woman Works show if we did not have a little fun. It's the speed round. 10 questions, 10 random questions to
Okay.
allow everyone to get to know you just a little bit more. Are you
Okay.
ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What's your favorite movie?
I have a few. It used to be Grease, and
Hmm.
then it kind of turned into like The Notebook, and then on some days it's Paid in Full. So it just kind of depends on what mood I'm in.
Ah, okay. All right. I hope y'all gathered that, folks. And she's playing. Watching Paid in Full. I don't think you want to disturb her. But I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. What is what is your favorite song in rotation currently?
My favorite old song is "Whatever You Want" by Toni.
Hmm.
I love it.
Yep.
I love that song.
Yep. They do have a lot of hits. A lot of
They
hits indeed.
do. They do a lot.
Hmm. What is
Yes.
your favorite restaurant?
Hmm. Anything that has seafood. Anything that has seafood. Literally.
Okay.
I don't really
All
have a
right.
set favorite. So like Papados, even though like I'm in
Mhm.
Nashville now, so we don't have that here. So I have to travel to Atlanta to get it. But literally, anything with seafood.
There we go. There we go. Now, favorite childhood memory.
Favorite childhood memory. I would say going to my first Big Jam concert in Chicago.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mhm.
All right. Um, favorite artist.
My favorite artist of all time is Lil Wayne, and I
Hmm.
would say Cameron.
Okay. Yeah, I think they've been on the track together at one point. But
Yes, I love those two. Love them.
oh, never mind. This ain't my show. Let me be quiet. Let's see. Worst movie you've ever seen.
Uh, Human Centipede.
Oh yeah.
Worst, worst movie. Do not watch it. Do not watch it. I'm trying to save y'all. Do not watch it.
That movie was wild. That movie.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Favorite food. Well, seafood. You already said that
Yes.
one.
It's seafood, crab legs, lobster, and fruit.
Got you. Got you. Favorite vacation spot.
Costa Rica. It's
Costa
beautiful.
Rica. Okay. All right. All right. You get to sit down to dinner with one person to pick their brain. This person can be dead or alive. Who is that one?
Mm. Uh, One person. I'm gonna go with Michelle Obama.
Okay. All right. Sticking to Chicago. All
I
right
am.
now. And this last one always is fun. Who plays you in a biopic?
Oh, who plays me? Oh God,
Mhm.
that's a good one. Um, hmm. I don't know. I mean, Jasmine Sullivan, even though she's not an actress, I love her. I love her voice. So I
Mhm.
feel like, she should jump into a movie and, she could play me and my Bob.
Okay, there we go. There we go. That is the speed round. We are all wrapped up, and of course, I forgot to change the graphic to say speed round, but that was the speed round, y'all. I'm just telling you. But
Awesome.
anyway, that we have reached the end of the show. Uh, I want to thank you for coming on the show. giving
Thank you.
everyone. Hey, well, the pleasure was all mine. But I just want to thank you for coming on the show. Telling everyone about your journey, allowing us to get to know you in terms of us meeting the listeners and the viewers to get to know you and your journey and how you made it to where you are now, where you are the grant writer. Now, if you
Yes.
can, tell everyone where they can find you on social media, anything like that at all. The floor is yours.
Follow me on Instagram at the Grant Writer, THEE Grant Writer, and
Mm-hmm.
go to my website at homesgrantfunding.com. And I have everything you need on the website.
Now she is on the artist formerly known as Twitter at the Grant Writer as well. So just want to give y'all a heads up. It's that's what I usually call it. I don't ever call it
I
X
love
or
that. I
nothing.
love that. I
Yeah,
want to start saying
yeah,
that. Yes, the artist formerly
yeah,
known as Twitter. Yes, correct.
yeah. That Prince did something that will never die.
Never die.
Just like his music, he will never die.
Exactly. Exactly.
But of course, I am the host of the show, Mr. Mike Patton. You can find me on the artist formerly known as Twitter at Mike Patton 82. That's MikePaton 82. You can also find me on Instagram and Threads at that's THA, not THE, _general_MP. This woman works. You can find on all listening platforms, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, you name it, we are there. We are also on YouTube at the Mike Patton Network. Go ahead and subscribe. Click the bell on YouTube so you don't miss any shows. And on the other places where you listen, hey, go ahead and subscribe so you can get that notification so you can sit in your car while you're in traffic sometimes, listen to the
Mm-hmm.
show, get you some knowledge. Hey, when you're driving home from work, turn it
I love
on,
it.
get you some knowledge while you're in the gym working out. You might want to get you some knowledge there too. So what I'm saying is tune in to This Woman Works on all the listening and platforms and YouTube as well. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of This Woman Works. We're out. Peace.